Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to this very special broadcast with Sanchez as we will discuss examining the Black culture. We will begin shortly and a few housekeeping rules. All comments and questions are welcome, just as usual. Please be respectful and no spamming or self-promotion in this particular broadcast. So without further ado, we will be beginning shortly. And thank you to everyone that's joined. Welcome. The audio's good. Please let me know. Hello there, Edna, Maybach, Ryder, Nellie. Yes. Audio good?
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
I'm good on this end, sir. You?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Here I am with the cam.
Awesome.
Salute you.
Welcome back and thank you.
Most definitely. Thank you for having me. As always, it's a pleasure.
Absolutely. You've been on fire this week.
Yeah, this been one of I got a lot of events going on. So yeah, man. And then I got 2 platforms. It can pile up sometimes.
Absolutely. So last time you suggested that I go outside, and I did. But unfortunately, here, and this is what I want you to touch on briefly. And if you see me click off, it's because I have to cough real quick. But quickly, your thoughts on these Canadian wildfires and the poor air quality.
This is in wildfires in Canada, poor air quality in I think the eastern part of the United States at this time and all of that.
Yes, sir. But I'm hearing that it's actually going further out. So I know that you have extended experience in this. So just wanted to ask if you thought that this is Mother Nature. And I sent you some information, and I'm sure you didn't get a chance to go over it because you've been so busy. But if you think this is truly Mother Nature, or perhaps something that we may not know or see through our own optics.
I want to say that I love your platform. I really love being over here because you really have great questions.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that I want everybody to brace themselves because my answer to the sister's question is going to be totally somewhere you thinking I'm not going to go. And I'm going to go there.
Let me put my mic on mute.
Yeah. So I believe, and this is just a belief, that the more we wake up and come into understanding and understanding, we will realize that the world around us is fake, on some Neo in the Matrix stuff. And with that being said, we'll realize why everything we see ever since we grew up in this world have been GMO. we've grew up on GMO food since we was born, meaning you never really saw natural food before. That yellow banana that you eating, it don't supposed to be yellow. It's supposed to have seeds in it. The air that you breathing, it has had chemicals in it since you've been born that ain't natural. You've really never experienced the natural world. So much so that people say that the weather we experience have been man-made ever since the 60s. This coming from a government whistleblower. We truly live in a Truman Show, to where the clouds we see in the sky, we got to ask the same question. Is that a natural cloud? Or do you think that's a man-made cloud? We're in a fake world, and we're looking for the real world. So that's why, like, think about this, right? They got so many movies where the people find out they in a simulation, some sort of Truman Show. They go to digging, or they realize everything ain't what it is based on the composition of the reality. Like the fact that genetically modified organisms outnumber organic and real organisms in this realm, that lets you know who home this is. We are real organic creatures who landed in a fake inorganic universe, and we're trying to treat it like it's our true home. So I think what's happening at this time, to answer your question, sister, we're began to visually realize and see that the weather, the sky, all of this stuff is being controlled by man. And what we're going to ultimately realize, as the more we wake up, more than that being controlled by man, we're going to realize eventually we're in a man-made universe right now that was created by evil ancestors, created everything from our body, which is why you can't take this body with you. The real you is your soul, and your soul is a visitor in a fake ass world with a fake version of you there. The body is the ego. The soul inside of it is the true you. So we got to separate ourselves from the body, identify with the soul. And when we do that, we'll realize this is not our home. Why are we looking for a natural reality or a beautiful, perfect Garden of Eden type reality? We fell from up out of Eden. We're not in a natural world. We're in a simulated world, what the ancestors call hell, Sheol. And that's why nothing is natural here. Not even your body is true. Or your body is a form of artificial intelligence that's going to war with your damn mind. And every day is a war of mind versus body. Because the mind and the body come from two different dimensions, and you're not your body. This is God versus the devil, mind over matter. Why do we say that? Because we are the mind. And once we realize that, the mind will take full control over the body. But we got to realize that they are attacking our minds through the body. And that one of the ways they do this is with controlling the weather, with all of this stuff the sister bringing up with the air not being breathable. There's an end goal for all this. They want to scare us enough to where they can take more of our rights away, create a more controlled state, reinforce this technological grid they want to rule us under, AI policing us, robo dogs. They want to create a state that justifies this radical new world that they want to bring us into. And the only thing that can justify that is, just like with the pandemic, in order for me to take your rights, so to have a radical government changes, we need a problem. So if I need a radical solution, I need a radical problem. The Hegelian dialectic says, if I need a radical solution, I need to create a radical problem so that the people will now justify my radical solution, which otherwise would have got me laughed at if I said, look, we got to chip up everybody, or lock you in your house for this amount of time, or make you do 6 feet apart. Such a radical solution requires a radical problem, and that's what we see going on now.
Well, you summed it up like many people see it. I just wanted your perspective because I thought it was odd and it really got me under. So, anyway, I want to share something really quickly as we're speaking about the race culture. And this is piggybacking off of a broadcast you did, but I wanted you to go just a little bit deeper into that. And you spoke on what it is and partially what it isn't. So I'm going to share this, and it's fair use, and I would like to get your perspective. This is Candace Owens.
Kanye West that put the White Lives Matter t-shirt on first. You did. You did by intentionally ignoring what Black Lives Matter would actually mean if it was applied. It would mean taking a look at all of these statistics that I've just riled off to you. It would mean taking a look at the real problem that is happening, which is our culture, a celebration of perversity pitched to us as if it's diversity. It's not. It is not diversity that we are celebrating. It is perversity. You think that it's something to be proud of. It's not. So when you say something like, oh, Candace Owens, we don't want you in our culture. You don't understand Black culture. I have to keep reminding you that I don't want to be a part of this culture. I want to destroy it. I want to destroy it further than it's already destroyed itself. I want to go backward. Your idea of progressivism is clearly regressive.
Now, that was a short from Candace Owens. Many people love her, many people hate her. Your thoughts on her stance?
I don't like Candace Owens because she's a controlled puppet who think that the Republican Party is the answer when both of these parties got the same agenda. She's fake woke. I don't like her because she's a MAGA thought and a clout chaser who just do stuff like with the White Lives Matter shirt for clout. However, I agree with her that Black culture and white culture need to be destroyed because these are like the two polarities that the powers that be use to divide the masses. You see what I'm saying? And I think if you really look at what Black culture is, what white culture is, it's what they give poor Black folks and poor white folks who they don't want to know their culture. Black folks got to admit that we never found our true identity and that we're calling ourselves Black and participating in Black culture as a placeholder until we find out who we are, because we identify with like Black culture. But what is that, my sister? That is hip hop music, fried chicken, soul food, Crips and Bloods. Come on now, let's break the veil off it and sum it up to what it is. A person's culture is their learned behavior, their system of actions. And guess what? If there is a Black culture, it's self-destructive. What we call in Black culture is a result of neo-paganism that took place in the 1960s. That's how hip-hop and Black culture got seeded. During the 50s and 60s, Black folks were seeking an identity. There was a cultural identity movement going on in that time. You had the hippies and all that. In that same time, when people was trying to find out who they were, that's when the government activated UNESCO, right, and sent in people like Dr. Ben, people. They was doing it before them, Marcus Garvey, people to tell you, listen, you're a Muslim, Islam, give them the Quran. Give the way that the white man say, look, once you wake up and realize you ain't a Christian and Jesus ain't your God, and we don't care if you turning away from the white man's God, long as you turning toward an Abrahamic faith. So they will give Black folks Islam, Christianity, Judaism. As long as it's Abrahamic faith, all of those Abrahamic people working together, they all on the same team. They don't care which one of their gods you pray to, as long as it's one of their buddies. But they don't want you praying to your own. So what happened after the 50s and 60s, Black people became Christians, not Christians, I meant Pan-Africans, Hebrew Israelites, Moors. We started to get all of these new age schools of thought born. and in addition to our Christian church, you know, and so now you got all of these ideologies and black folks divided. Some people saying we Egyptians. Some people saying we aboriginals, like, you know, Dane Calloway, salute to him. Some people saying we're this, we're that, we're that, we're that. The cultural identity movement never stopped. They just gave us all these identities to divide us. That's what they did to usurp that. If they never wouldn't have done that, we would have ultimately either figured out who we was or came up with our own grassroots identity. But we let these folks bring in Islam, all these different foreign schools of thought, and it just created a bunch of more ideologies to keep black folks divided during the time when we was trying to figure out who we was.
Okay, I'm going to try to share the screen. I sent this as well, but I wanted you to do a quick dissection, if you would, and give me one moment. It's from a very interesting article, which basically mirrored a lot of what you said. And we'll see if I can get through it. If not, it's in the description. Here we go. And thank you to everyone that's come in. Just waiting for it to pull up. This is from the Daily Trojan. And it's entitled The Afterworld. White people take everything from black culture but the burden. And basically, it spoke a lot to what you said, and this is in the description for anyone who would like to read it, but I want to go down to right here. Where she speaks about the disturbing part of all of it is, I know that white people taking accountability for appropriation tarnishes their environment with the very culture they're exploiting. And if you go up, popular culture in America today, virtually all of it is directly rooted in black culture. Our white privilege cushions us, enabling us to reap its benefits while ignoring its dire realities. To listen to black artists, wear clothes inspired by black culture, use slang coined by the black community, capitalize, this is important right here, on traditionally black beauty trends, to consciously draw on fragments of black culture for personal benefit, and then stay silent when black people are being killed is objectively and patently harmful. So, your thought on that?
It kind of goes back to what I was saying recently about black culture ain't really black culture. It's black indoctrination and black social engineering. The fact that we're protecting something that was given to us by our enemy for us to identify with that doesn't serve us. And we're so attached to it. And when we say that other people can exploit this culture, copy off of it, say the slang and all that, but they don't want to copy the struggle, who would? Who would? People,
absolutely.
Right, like everybody does that. Everyone, we look at everything around us and we take what serves us from it and leave the rest. That's a natural human thing to do. So any race that's taken from your culture, they're going to do the same. Why would they pick up something that don't serve? You're not going to take something from another race that don't serve you. Black guys like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and all these are foreign folk stuff. That ain't our culture. That's the white man brands for his culture. We not taking none of the white man's opioid crisis. We don't want to take none of his small penis though. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying we'll take everything else, right? So I'm saying, like, black people got to quit being victim minded and realize this a dog eat dog world and you in it. People gonna look at your culture and see what can we implement from their culture that can help our culture. And the things that they doing that don't serve us, we'll ignore that. Instead of being mad at that, why don't you start doing it? Look at what you can implement from other cultures, and the bullshit, you leave that at the door. But the problem with black folks, we tend to look at the other cultures and only want to pick up the bullshit. For example, we'll look at the white culture and we'll say, damn, I want to wear Louis Vuitton, Gucci shoes. I want to ride a Maybach like the white man, but guess what? You don't want to build a nation like him. See, you take what you want too. You don't want to go on a ship with them rifles and black boot, go to war and die like a colon. You don't want to be a colonizer. You want to be a perfume wearing, suit wearing, best dressed. That's what the black man is. You're not a creature of war. You're a lover. But you chose to be that though. But you need to know what you need to be when you need to be it and quit complaining. That's my final answer.
Okay, so do you think that some black people, not all, and this is collectively, help add to what is or has been seen as or coined black culture? The younger people coming up.
Any other people that add on to the self-destructive nature of black culture who's not black?
No, who's actually black.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Steve Coakley. You familiar with Steve Coakley?
Yes.
Steve Coakley speak about the boule more than any other leader in the community. And I think that when it comes to important leaders from FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, Steve Coakley need to be in our top 3. And he don't get the props that he get. Steve Coakley could have made a career doing what everybody else done, talking about the white man this, the white man that, but he made his career saying the black man. This group of black men called a boule who working, because the white man ain't doing nothing to us directly. They doing it through our own people who are gate guards. You know that though, don't you, sister? I already know
do.
that.
But do you believe that some hold or foster a thought process that it's because of oppression? Meaning there's oppression for some, leading them to be these gatekeepers.
I get what you're saying. And I'm trying to think about it before I'm saying it, because nobody never asked me that.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, nobody never asked. That's a good question.
My mind is just different from many. Sorry.
That's why I say I rocks with your interviews. You know what I'm saying? I always have fun over here, and I'm always stimulated intellectually. Good shit, man. You know what I would say? Most definitely, you're right, because I had to think about it, because I wanted to say you wrong, but you actually not wrong. I guess what I need to say is that we don't want to give them an out though, even though you right about it, right? So a person that just boils down to a person will sell out depending on how desperate the situation they in, which is why most of these rappers get recruited from the toughest hoods and all that. So when it comes to like the boule, same thing. These are black families that have sold out years ago. They can trace their family history back to boule members where they were sold out probably in Prince Hall time. And they not finna count their family out of royalty and go again. They're gonna be the gate guards for this power over their people. You know, we had this even on a plantation, but it's crazy today because the trustee or the house nigga now, he's been looked at like he's the example of what it means to be a black man. So often when you see the image of a successful black man with his suit on in corporate America, you think, yeah, you think that's what I want to be. And you should, but guess what you're not realizing? That's actually the boule image, because to move up in corporate America as a black man, or to move up in a music or in the industries, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. And once a child realized that, because this country ain't just gonna tell you that, that's an unspoken rule. Once a child realized that, he starts saying, who do I need to go and sell my butt to get to where I'm trying to go? No,
now,
it ain't what
up,
yeah.
Coming up. I'm sorry.
My bad.
We no, it's okay. We never spoke like that. And again, no judgment to anyone. What you do is what you do, but those are conversations we, I'm talking about my generation, the older folk, we didn't have. We saw celebrity and we didn't think, or at least we weren't taught to think of any type of boule, rituals, initiations, and what we hear a lot of now, sacrifice.
Yeah. And I think that's like a conspiracy word in our community today. And that's because of the boule. A person like Steve Coakley, who died young, and I think for a reason, because what he was doing, he brought up celebrity sacrifice, some of the taboo stuff. When people like that die who in that position, then the conversation now goes more and more into conspiracy, tinfoil hat. The new generation of boule and sellouts act like there was never a group of black leaders that pointed this stuff out about the music industry, and the sick stuff go in. They just ignore their legacy. You know what I'm saying? But yes, sacrifice is real, sister. It ain't no coincidence that every other black musician, they got the same story. Soon as I signed my contract, my loved one died. My mama died, my daddy died, somebody near me died, but I didn't have time to mourn because, man, I was working. I remember one of the rappers was like, I was on stage during the tour when they told me that my daddy died, and I had just got on, and I didn't even have time to mourn on stage. I had to continue the show and keep rapping and go mourn afterwards. Now, the average person to say, man, that's a lot of dedication, I'm going to say, damn, that's a lot of blood sacrificing. Because when it comes down, if somebody would have told me that my loved one died in the middle of my show, my whole audience would have been like, damn, he's just vomiting on stage. Yeah, bro, they just told me my daddy died. This show's over. The DJ would have been like, cut, he just got some bad news, everybody. Unfortunately, we got to end the show. You're a human, man. Your human nature ain't just going to turn off because I'm doing a show right now and they just told me my mama died. But you will hear that all the time in these little interviews. I didn't even have time to mourn, and that's their excuse to hide the fact that some ain't right here. Everybody got a close one dying when they get on. It ain't just Kanye.
No. So, well, I'm not going to go. That's a totally another spectrum.
I could be wrong, but I'm just saying it's interesting that it's like that, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Black culture. We spoke about what some people say it is, your perspective on what it isn't. And then I'll leave the floor open for 10 minutes if anyone would like to come up and ask any questions.
Well,
I know that you've been on a roll.
One thing is we don't have to worry about the time if you don't care.
I know you've been going, so I'm like, I don't want to kill the man.
No, it's all good because I'm actually still gonna be going like this is all I do for a living, by the way. Sit here and talk shit. So some days I do it more than others. So it's totally cool just to let you know, sister. I appreciate you.
Oh,
But
thank you.
oh yeah. So the thing is, like, what black culture isn't,
Yes.
this is gonna hit hard because I'm gonna say one thing it isn't, and then I ain't gotta talk no more.
All right.
Watch this. Black culture isn't a culture. It's not a culture. It's a pattern of learned behavior given to us by TV. Because everybody know your culture is the overall behavior patterns of your people. Let's really they equate black culture to urban culture. So what is black culture? It's, hey, when I put on some sweatpants, I'm gonna pull one leg up. I'm gonna pull one leg up on my sweatpants. I'm gonna dress this way. I'm gonna act this way.
I'm sorry, is that culture or a fad attached to, again,
that's my
point? Mm-hmm.
What we're calling a culture is just trendy behavior.
Trendy, okay.
Which is why our culture is constantly redefined every generation. If you ask an old head what is black culture today, he'll tell you it ain't what these young niggas doing today. That ain't black culture, boy. Every generation will tell you the next one wasn't practicing it right, because no one is really creating their own behavior. Each generation is being told what to do by social engineers.
So, you remember, oh my God, I forgot his name, Antonio? Oh gosh, I can't remember his name, but he was hugging somebody with the shoes, with the fish in them, and jive turkey and all of that. Are you saying that strictly social engineering? And molding the clay to culture or black culture, possibly?
Yeah, when a black man back in the day watched movies like Shaft, he found himself in his Shaft. Listen, I wasn't even born then, but I'm finna share some with you. Let's say Shaft, because watch, I want to go back and then walk my way up. I noticed that a lot of old school cats, if I watch some of the propaganda that they was into in their time, I can see how they became who they became. And then when they listen to my music and watch the movies we grew up to, they can see how our generation came to where we became. And what this shows is that each generation is becoming who they are through TV, which is why we say it's trendy culture. Because when TV say, look, it ain't hip no more to wear baggy jeans, black man. Now it's part of black culture to wear tight jeans and dresses. We ain't making these changes. A bunch of black folks ain't coming together saying, hey, it's no longer black to do it this way. It's now black to do it this way. It's the people that's controlling the fads and trends, which is social engineering, which prove that we don't have a culture. We just got a set of control behavior patterns.
Okay, I'm gonna bounce this off of you. There are many people that have already secured the bag who are not in entertainment or the boule. And many people get together and they put out ideas or ideals to have their own. How come it seems to me, maybe not all, but many times that fails or starts to fizzle out?
It's because the people in power, if they can't control a movement that is a certain size, then they got to destroy it. Now, it is only when you get to a big enough, like if I start a movement right now, like what you said, grassroots, it ain't got the mainstream machine. It's just us independently without looking for no handouts, making no excuses. We start growing, we doing good, man. Shit is successful. The moment we get to a certain tax bracket, you're gonna find all kind of war being waged on you. They're gonna keep you in a certain area. If I can't control your growth, then you just don't grow. Because the way these people in power look at it, We can't have you walking around here as this big entity with all this power and we don't control it. Who do you think you are? Even there's nations that working with the United Nations that know you just can't be some rogue nation in the world that's saying, hey, here's my kingdom over here and y'all do what you want, but just leave us alone. They're going to take over your stuff and take it over. You're going to sign in with the unity and the cabal. That's the United Nations. And why I'm bringing that up, because we're talking nations. We ain't even talking little businesses. These are little businesses that think they're going to rise to a level of corporate prestige and not be challenged by this beast. You will never stand a chance. You know what they'll do when they see a little business getting big? They'll write a bunch of new legalities and restrictions and regulations to make it so hard for them to run their stuff. You just can't compete with the big boys, because what'll happen is even the big boys will have to abide by the new regulations, but they can afford it though. The new regulations may be, hey, you need a minimum of 15 employers. You need to have enough money for this kind of insurance, this kind of sanitization. And guess what? All the small businesses will be shut down. And all the big businesses, them regulations won't affect them at all. They did that with the pandemic. So they got a way of keeping you in your spot and in your bracket unless you're going to join and let us control you. And Noriega talked about that. He said, if you want to be in the music game and grow to a big level, then yeah, you got to go through one of them doors. Don't nobody just get to this big level without going through one of them doors. Noriega told us that, and he was on the inside. So I'm going to end right there.
So if we know this, or those who are proponents of critical thinking or just an open mind, are we stuck in the matrix?
Nah, you're not. Nah. See, every individual can manifest their greatest version. Now, what people got to realize, if you on the side of truth and you on the side of righteousness, and you got this grand idea in your mind that you want to show up at the spot hopping out the Bentley coupe with all the chains on and then mansions everywhere, this is not your home. Spiritual beings, this is not where we shine at. Here's my belief though, Eyes. We're in the world. This is the devil's world. They say the devil is the god of this world. And I'm not no devil. I'm a God. I'm a righteousness being. So I got to realize that I'm playing an away game. I'm not having home court advantage. If you're an angel, if you're a righteous spirit and you born into this earth, you playing an away game. Anytime you speak the truth and do something righteous, they gonna boo. Because the home team here is the liars. The home team here is the people that just want money, like Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes. If you thinking you're gonna ball like them telling the truth, you're a fool. If you think you finna tell the truth in this world of lies, in this world that gives an incentive for people to lie, and look for people who telling the truth to kill them, and you think you're gonna be the truth teller that get rich and ball out, man, you funny than a motherfucker. Nobody be on the side of the truth for those reasons. This is something really in my spirit. I really think that my reward gonna ultimately come when I die, and that nobody gonna appreciate the truth I'm saying in this world of lies. I'm not doing this for no reward from the world. The truth come from the spirit, not the body. So there's no way that my spirit is gonna express itself in this world and it end up being a bunch of benefits for my body. If anything, once my spirit start to express itself through this body, they gonna want to get rid of this body and put this body to death. They ain't gonna want to lace it up and put jewelry on it. They doing that to the liars. So if you on the side of the truth, realize what you fight for is something that's gonna shine. Listen, the people with all that jewelry on and all that, they don't have a soul that can shine for them. See, listen, I can show up in the room with the rapper who got all that jewelry on, and talk the way I'm talking, who you think gonna shine the most? It's different ways to shine. Let your soul shine, because once you sell it, you're gonna need a bunch of jewelry to weigh you down to shine for you. I can get the same shine he got, and it ain't like I'm broke. I'm living a good life telling this truth now, but I don't dare expect to be where Creflo Dollar at. I know who run this world.
Right. And also, in my opinion, the tangibles are more attractive. I think many, because I can't speak for everyone, can't speak for anyone, but in my opinion, people gravitate towards what's more attractive, more appealing to the eye.
That's it. And they go by what's appealing to the eye, but not what resonate with the soul. See, I brought a lot of things into my life because they was visually alluring and attractive. And once they came into my life, it damaged the soul. That's the seen world and the unseen world. And I don't live in the seen world, and I don't make actions according to what my eyes see. I make actions according to what my spirit feel. And that led me on the right path.
Now, you mentioned the unseen world. Can you delve deeper into that?
Only 1% of everything you see, smell, touch, feel, and all that is represent reality. The other 99, 1%. The other 99% is the unseen world. The unseen world is the world of thought, and the seen world is the world of thoughts being manifested, coming out of the unseen into the seen. So, the unseen world is the foundation for the seen world, but the seen world is only 1% of the universe. And this is why everything you see started in a place where you don't see, called a mind. The thought of everything is the seed, and the seed of a thing exists in its perfect form. Once we manifest the thought, you can't manifest none but imperfection. You can never manifest perfection inside of this realm because we ain't in heaven. You can't make nothing perfect here. We come from a perfect reality. This ain't our home. We're manifested inside of imperfection. But the realm we come from is perfect. That's the thought realm, meaning that if I think of a chair in my mind, that's a perfect chair. But if I take that chair and build it right here, it ain't perfect no more. You cannot manifest anything perfect. Things only exist in perfection in an idea or thought realm. So the chair in my mind, it'll never get a loose leg on it, or it'll never get rusty. And I never got to screw it together because the legs is getting loose on me, because it ain't the screws keeping that chair together. It's my mind. But okay. once it get out of my mind, it's bound to Chronos and the physical reality. And now can't then keep them screws together. My mind ain't there keeping them screws together. So the chair rusts. It ages. You got to tighten the screws up. But the chair in my mind never rusts. So this is showing you a Platonic concept of how things happen in the thought realm before they happen in the spiritual realm. And when they happen in the thought realm, they're in their truest form, versus once they become an echo. Because once I take a thought and manifest it, the manifestation is just a copy. It's like the thought is the master. And then when I manifest the thought, that's the distributed copy, like a record label. And your masters is always unchanged and perfect, if that makes any sense.
It does. To me, it's almost like a host and then a carrier.
Yeah, you see, that's why, man, look here, yo.
I know a little something. So to piggyback over that manifestation, would you say then Maslow's hierarchy of needs, is that just mental? Is it real?
Hierarchy of needs. I swear I've heard this before, but I never looked into it. There's a real thing.
It's a pyramid, and the hope is to get to self-actualization. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Whoa, I already know where you at with it.
All right,
I
sir.
already know where you at with it, right? Because I'm working on some Plato research, and he talk about the good form, and I'm guessing that at the top of this hierarchy is this perfected self that's in the realm of mind and all of that, what we were saying. Because think about it, sister. When you think about who you are in your mind, that version of you is this perfected, godly, like it's like, yo, that's the ideal version of me. And when we say the word ideal, if we take the L off, it's just mean that's the idea. The idea is the seed. But once you, the idea, manifest into the body, you'll never be like that's what Plato was saying. He was saying the idea of yourself in its perfect form, even though you may never reach perfection, you will reach indefinite levels of greatness and blissful incarnations just by following and trying to manifest the idea of yourself in the flesh. Because think about how deep this is. How I see myself in my mind is a version of myself that is healthier, that is less, I'm a better version. But to go and be that is different. So it's like we never have, that's where I'm at in my life, sister. But what the average person, they will have their favorite rapper, favorite entertainer in their mind, and they will strive to be something they ain't. Instead of them trying to compete with the version of themselves in the mirror versus the version of themselves in the mind, they're just trying to be their favorite rapper or idolize some celebrity. So they're not even really in tune with this idea of they don't even know their potential or who they can be up here to even strive toward it every day, because they're strive toward trying to be a false persona based on Hollywood and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You mentioned a very important word, and I'm getting more into etymology, but idol. I know how you feel about the Bible and other teachings, but idol and idolatry. Your thoughts on that? Meaning,
worship.
When, okay, other people can look at models of other people maybe as a blueprint as to get there, but in my opinion, sometimes that could be dangerous if that is your only focus. Meaning you can have a guide, but then you have to use what's within and make your footsteps.
Yeah, like our only purpose for looking at other people is to see what we think can work for us based on what worked for them. But for us to look at a person and say, yo, he's really cool, man, he got swagger, and start to emulate and embody their swag, that's kind of like demon possession. You're their clone now. See what I'm saying? That's
How
what's
real
happening.
is that? Or how prevalent is that now, the possession? I think it's very real, and I think it's very prevalent here in 2023 alone.
Most definitely. I always say that demon possession is something that's real, but it's not the way the Bible teaches. Demon possession is the fact that some dudes I'm talking to, I know who their favorite rapper is because of how they acting. You possessed, because demons are vibrations, and it's these invisible vibrations that'll dictate to a person who they are when they never even explored who they are in themselves. They will get acquainted and exposed to a bunch of music and all that by their parents before they get exposed to their own inner light. Our parents have not been trained for us for them to raise children, to let them children know you are a unique individual. Ain't no other like you in the universe, motherfucker. You're a one of one. You're no one like you. So if we had parents to let them know, look, when you see Jeezy, when you see Jay-Z, when you see your favorite artist, instead of try to beat them, use that as motivation to let you know, yo, man, I can express my energy just like him and have people saying, damn, Sanchez got good energy. That's the difference between me and a follower. I like all the rappers they like. I like Young G's. I like all these personalities. But I look at them and say, damn, that mean I can manifest my personality and have people liking me. But some people look at them and say, yeah, man, I'm a copy off Jeezy swag. I'm a copy. And it's just the opposite for them, and I don't get it, you know.
So personality, that's not already innate, already within, or do people have to create a personality? Because we already know on social media, we can be whoever we want to be behind the keyboard. But in real life,
if you got to create a personality on social media, your career ain't going to last long. The hardest thing.
Repeat that, because it's a couple of people I want to hear that.
If you got to create a personality on social media, your career ain't gonna last long, because every time you log on here, you got to be somebody you ain't. And for you to really be successful on social media, you got to put in a lot of hours. How many hours are you willing to fake? It really take a lot out of me to smile when I don't want to smile. Imagine if I had to do that every day, all day. No, dog, that your career gonna end quick just because you setting a challenge for yourself that ain't humanly possible. I knew when I wanted to do social media for a living, my sister, that I'm gonna have to be transparent with who I am and let people into my space. Because if I'm gonna be on here for 5-6 years, they gonna know, look, I drank beer. Look, I might fire up a blunt in the middle of this bit. I'm gonna be me, and if you rock with me, subscribe. And if you don't, if I do something to turn you off, fine. I know who my following is. That let me know, can I do this for real or not? Now, if a lot of people say, well, shit, nigga, we don't care about that you're doing. We like your teeth. Fuck that, nigga. We like you. You good. I know I got me a career in this, and I can be myself too. Because the people who rocking with me, I already showed them what I'm about. It's on camera. I ain't got an avatar, my real name out there, my Facebook open. You can see it, all that. So that way you can never expose a nigga like me. And nothing will never come out later like, and did y'all know this? Ooh, we ain't messing with him no more. You can't do. I already peeped all that before I got on here that, hey, if I want to do this the way I want to do it, I'm gonna have to goddamn let people kind of be a little bit into my personal space. And that's okay with me, because guess what? My intent was to share my personality to make people vibe with my energy. So when you do that, you got to share your personal space. It's like a duh. So people who don't want to be who they are, you it's only so long you can fake and pretend, man.
And you have to be consistent, because that will separate who's really being true to their word or faking it until they make it, in my opinion.
Like a lot of folks be telling me, man, when I get my money up, when I get fresh, guess what they be thinking about, though, eyes? It's sad. It's a lot of folks saying, I don't want to go live from my phone. It ain't the iPhone. I want a good image. And I don't want to start going live till I can have on a different outfit every show, until I can do this and get this kind of lighting and get my chain on and get the, bro, this YouTube shit is about your message. It's literally people out there that got a black screen when they go live and they got 5,000 people watching them. They got a black screen. You don't see nothing. They message. I think Hassan Campbell showed us that. Hassan Campbell was going live with the nigger rig set up on the phone for years with all the views and didn't change it, because he was telling niggas like, bro, it's my message, rubbing it in.
Be careful of your circle before they hurt you.
Before they hurt you. Salutes to Hassan. That's real shit.
Hassan Campbell. Oh my goodness. Yeah, shout out to Hassan Campbell. Or what is it, Poppy?
Poppy, yeah.
Poppy, yes.
I'm glad your ear to the street, sister. We need sisters like you in this black YouTube
Oh,
space,
I'm a
man.
quote unquote old head. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I just try to stay quiet and calm. And sometimes people will
Yeah.
bring me out of my body, if you will. But then I have to sit down and think about the other people that do listen. But I mean, it's people, like you said. Now I'm gonna go back on something that might stir you up, but I'm for it. I'm not asking for smoke, but you know
So
that last time we talked, I told you that I'm a believer, and I am, and I believe you said you are too, and you believe that you're your own God or you're your God. Now, do you believe in heaven, purgatory, and hell, or no? I'm
I,
hoping
I,
I'm opening
I
up a can of worms, but that I've always wanted to ask you that.
I do have my own ideology of
Mm-hmm.
a good afterlife scenario and a bad afterlife scenario. So you can say yes, I have my own concept of heaven and hell.
Okay. What about purgatory, where you're basically in the middle?
We're in so the earth realm is purgatory. Now the root word of purgatory is purge. This
Mm.
is where we come to purge at. So what happens is our most high form has an infinite amount of righteousness that it want to express through the earth realm. And our most low form has an infinite amount of wickedness that it just want to come here and manifest. So what happens is the universe says, listen here, most high form, most low form, you both can manifest 50% in the earth realm, okay? You most low form, you can manifest 50% of your bad. You most good, 50% of your good. Here we are now as humans doing good and bad in our life. But there are realities up above where you won't do 50% good and bad. There are alternate realities above us where it breaks down in percentages in my ideology to where there's a plane of existence above us to where 60% good manifest, 40% bad manifest. And above that, 70% good manifest, 30% bad manifest. You keep going up to the most high version of this reality is 100% good manifesting, like a good dream. This same reality, but nothing bad happening. We created a Eden, a utopia. And in the most low version, the same thing, to where when you leave the earth, where it's 50% good, 50% bad, once you go below here, it's 60% bad, 40% good. And it keep getting worse and worse to 100% bad, most low. That's my ideology, and it's based on Hindu cosmology.
Can you elaborate just a little bit on that?
I can not only elaborate, I can show you slides, and we can open up the screen share. And
Oh,
yeah.
yes, because I've been taught and believe up and down. And again, I'm always seeking knowledge. Maybe I need to go outside some more, but
No,
my
I hope
research and stuff, yeah.
wait, nah, don't. Nah, you a very enlightened sister. I'm gonna show you something. When I was saying go outside, I'm pretty sure I said we. I ain't just say you.
Oh no, but you were right.
But nah, salute.
No, I listen. I listen. I don't get uptight because again, I seek knowledge and truth.
So I'm gonna give you some truth right now. Share my screen.
Yes, sir.
Here is Vedic cosmology. They ain't the only ones with this. This is all over. This is an experiment you can do, by the way. Let me show y'all something before I even get into this, because it's best to go show the science before we get into the cosmology so you can see the experimentation. Each of these magnets is a earth realm stacked upon each other. Where separate them is a invisible magnetic energy field in between all of these. So those invisible energy fields were called netters. And what we're looking at here, right? Let me just show you some, sister, because I don't know if you're a biblical person or if you know.
I'm more spiritual. Now I know some scriptures, but I'm more spiritual because, as I said before, there's so many questions that I have, but I'm the type that I will continue to ask questions ad nauseum where people will just, they don't want to answer them.
So, but the reason I ask you that, and I can tell you're a spiritual person, because I can just dig the vibes. Only thing I'm saying to my Christian people out there, the Bible is a book based upon the truth. But if your mind haven't elevated to the truth, you will only read it and get the lies. It's a coded book. So what I mean is the Tower of Babel situation. These are symbolic parables to teach high divine science. And what the Tower of Babel was trying to teach was this same concept. Here's another form of the Tower of Babel. What the Egyptians called netters, the word net is what we got in magnet, a magnet. It's a net because light can't escape a black hole. Our soul is light, and at the middle of every magnetic energy field is a black hole. All of these magnetic energy fields are universes. These are universes. Each ring you see stacked up on the Babel Tower is a universe. High ones is heaven, low ones is hell, and in the middle you got this place called earth that splits heaven and hell, like I'm showing here. And in that realm, 50-50 play out good and bad. What I'm teaching, all of the ancestors taught. They taught that our true reality is an unseen reality above the earth that we're calling heaven, and that our true version of ourselves is there, but we're asleep. God asleep is man awakened. Man asleep is God awakened. When we fell from Eden, it was the same concept of falling asleep. We never left Eden. We just left our spiritual bodies in heaven, and we became fallen angels that fell into our demonic bodies, into the fake simulation. The universe is separated by reflected barriers called netters. And there's a true base reality, which is the highest reality. That reality is reflecting itself down upon the waters. The Bible talk about when the face of God hovered upon the waters. It talk about let us make man in our image. The word image being likeness, meaning that your body is a reflection. What I'm showing here on the bottom is the Pharaoh in Egypt who created our bodies. He's one of them. In other words, our ancestors got so advanced in technology that they cheated death. And when they cheated death, it's penalties to pay when you cheat. We all got trapped in a quantum computer. This is what I'm showing you here. This is called Dante's Inferno. According to the Maya, we're in a simulation right now. And that the only way out is to awaken to it, like on some Neo shit.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at those, and I saw that when you did that before, and it kind of had me off a little bit, because you're saying that 2 layers for heaven above and then 2 for dark place. And then you said Dante's Inferno, which absolutely was a movie, but you had a fire vibe, and I had mentioned that I was at work trying to sneak listening to it, and then I caught the replay. There was a movie, I forgot the year, but Denzel Washington and Paula Patton were the stars, and it was called Deja Vu. You've spoken on Deja Vu many times, but the basic concept of that was they wanted to go back in time to stop what had happened. And I've always said, and again, my opinion, that art truly imitates life. What do you think about the concept of that movie and playing with time and things of that nature?
I'm an expert at ancient cosmology, which
awesome.
is I'm tapped into the cosmology of the ancestors right here. Let me show. I'm gonna answer you here.
Sure.
The ancestors taught us that when the universe was created, the past, present, and future was created at the same time, and that the past already happened and that the future already happened, and that we are time travelers that are traveling to and forth through the past and present and future. And they saying that time ain't basically, they teach us the opposite, that we're victims of time. We're experiencing time based upon motion, but they're not telling you that the motion is coming from your own higher self. And that's where I'm coming in to show you that the word men aura is the aura of man, or what we call in the chakra layers of the self. Because we're infinite energy, you don't have a beginning or end. Your beginning was a lie. That's why I'm calling it a matrix. Infinite energy can't have a beginning or ending. What had a beginning or ending is your body. But the infinite energy that's powering your body gonna leave your body and go power another body, another body. We've incarnated more than one time. The problem is we've incarnated into a universe now that strips you of your memory. It strips you of your previous incarnations. We won't be able to access our Akashic records. And when we say Kashik, let me break this down to you. The 5 Kashas are the Vedic form of the chakra layers. When we say Akashic records, we're talking about the different versions of you in the multiverse, my sister. You've dreamed before. And when you dream, you don't take the body that sleep in the bed. The version of you that is walking around a dream realm, it had its own birth. It had its own childhood. And when you dreaming, you don't even have no connection to the memory of the person that sleep in this reality in the bed. When you in that dream, if I walk up to you and say, hey man, there's another version of you that sleep in another universe that knows about a bro Sanchez and you a flat earther and all that. If I walk up to you in a dream and say that, you'll be like, bro, you sound crazy. Get out of my face. You're a crazy man. But when you wake up, that's when you tap into your history in this body. You remember your childhood in this world. You say, mama, I was sleeping and a dude came up to me in a dream and told me I was sleeping, but I didn't believe him when I was dreaming. But why do you believe him when you wake up? This is what the Hindu was saying. They're saying you have different other versions of yourself in alternate realities. The doctor told you that your daddy ejaculated several sperm cells, not just yours. Your daddy gave a bunch of copies of you, and each one went into a different alternate reality and had a birth and a childhood. You go to those other versions of yourself when you dream. And this is what the Hindu teach us right here. And they tell us that there are some versions of the self that exist in future universes. And because all of these versions of yourself are yours, you are a spiritual king with inheritance of land and space that you ain't claiming, because you got places you can go other than this world. You can leave this thing and go to another reality and say, I'm not coming back to that world. And your body in this world will be in a vegetable state. They'll put you in a hospital. You won't be dead. You just will be asleep. And the doctors will say, we waiting on them to wake up. And you can be a vegetable here indefinitely. But guess what? Just because your body sleep to us, man, you in a whole nother world in another body doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the universe is layers to the self. And that on all of the dimensional planes, the self is there. In fact, the word self is just the word shelf. The self is on each shelf. There's a version of you in each dimension, because think about it. The real you is in the base reality, but this reality is like inside of a mirror house. How you gonna tell me that you don't exist in every reality when each reality is just a reflection of the base reality and you're there? That's like saying, look, watch this. And I'm gonna yell here. And this just me getting in my passionate mode. You know, what I'm saying is, if you walk in a mirror house, all of those reflections of you on a wall, somebody gonna say, well, you don't exist in all of these dimensions. That's like telling that person they don't exist in all of these reflections. The true them is in the middle of this mirror house, and all of the reflected selves will be projected around it. This was the science of the ancestors. I'm a resurrected in modern time. I want to stop there so I don't be too long-winded and give you something to break and digest.
But that's awesome, but I have to definitely go back over that.
Yeah, the pharaohs when they said that, are you familiar with the pharaohs in Egypt trying to achieve immortality?
Not immortality, no, sir.
Yeah, that's one of the main things about ancient Egypt. Ask your chat room. I bet you they drop ones. Watch this. If you in the chat room, if you familiar with the ancient Egyptians trying to cheat death and achieve immortality, drop a 1. They'll show you that this is a staple of Egypt. But the reason I'm bringing it up to this day, when we talk about mummies, excuse me, I'm sorry. We talk about the pharaoh getting up out this golden tomb and walking again on earth. And people been waiting on him to get up for years, but he never got up. And the pharaoh, what historians say, the pharaoh achieved immortality by making us still talk about him today, and that the golden tomb is just the pharaoh's way of preserving his identity and making himself immortality. But what I'm saying is that the golden tomb is literally a quantum computer, and they lying to us. The pharaoh achieved immortality. That's who the Bible is saying come up out of Egypt. I'm saying, and this gonna sound crazy, our entire world is like a video game and a fake simulation inside of a quantum computer, which exists in ancient Egypt, created by, they cheated death and trapped us in the quantum universe, which is the universe of quantity, amounts, this versus that, polarity. And our true universe is singular. It's El versus the Elohim.
Right. And that movie I was speaking about just a short moment ago, in Deja Vu, they use quantum physics to actually have Paula Patton's character cheat death, because she actually passed away, but they went back in time and the event actually didn't happen at the end. It was a movie, but still, it mirrors a lot of what you're speaking of.
Yeah, and you know, there's a lot of ancient philosophers that can back me up. There's a lot of people who ain't gonna be given the spotlight who was saying what I'm saying. Our reality is way more intricate than what we think, and they want to hide this from us. And once we really realize the truth, it's gonna be like Neo in the Matrix, seriously. And I'm gonna show you something that when we realize we're really in a simulation and that this is not, watch this. Here's Plato's model. This little model that we see here, this comes from Plato. Now, this was a pseudonym. Plato ain't a real person. He's an ancient order that left some advanced knowledge for those who can decode it. And the knowledge of Plato, the knowledge of Plato is simply how reality is formed. He's all about the forms, and his name is Plato. Think about that. That's kind of a play on words, Plato. And he's known for showing us about form and things being shaped by light. And what Plato is,
we learned that in school. And actually, the example that they used was the chair. So yeah, I remember studying about that. But yes, he was one of the Greek philosophers we studied, and it was Plato's forms, and they used chair. Well, just because you call it a chair, is it really a chair? And that had a lot of people scratching their heads, but it makes you go deeper into your thought and your mind.
You know what's so deep about you? That statement you just said by Plato, it answered the question on why Plato influenced Christianity more than anybody else, but they won't tell us that. A lot of what Plato, because Plato, if you look at what he was saying, right? Plato was saying that we are made in the likeness of our form of the good, which is what we call today the higher self, or God. God is really good. And they say we're made in the image of God. Now here's from Plato. Let me show you what Plato said. Watch this. And this is coming directly from Plato. Watch what Plato show us. Let's pull this up. That's something called Plato's cave. And in this Plato's cave story, Plato said that our physical world is two-dimensional, but we don't know it, basically. He said our physical world is like these shadows on the wall, to where when we look out at the horizon line and see the straight flat earth line is two-dimensional to us all the time, and we don't get it. He's saying that the true three-dimensional Eden world is behind this wall on the other side, where we're projecting our fake version into the simulation. And another way to look at that is what I'm about to show you now. Let me go to this next slide. On this next slide, what I have there is a holographic human. That's something that scientists has created today. They're able to make a holographic version of you, and when you die, they can upload your consciousness into the hologram, and you'll be like Christ. You'll be resurrected into a body that can never get old, never stain. When they say in Revelation that the dead gonna walk among the living in the end of days, we right there at the cusp of science right now. 2045, they'll be resurrecting the first dead people, putting them in computers. They already doing it with animals.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's funny, I met somebody, oh my God, about 5 years ago. And I gave you some information on your email, but she was speaking how she was on a particular mission, and there were just other forms, I'll just say that, out there. And when she actually retired and spoke about it, people looked at her like she was crazy. I'm talking like Jetson type.
We're just now waking up to that right now. The average person, they're not gonna wake up at our speed. We're advanced, sister. We spiritual people. They're gonna wake up with technology. So like in 2045, 2050, they're gonna be able to put on they're gonna be able to make an avatar for themselves in a quantum computer, and they're gonna be able to upload their consciousness into the computer through the brain computer interface, and they'll be able to live out their life in computers and in reality. Scientists are already saying that by 2100, we will have more people walking amongst us that are avatars than are real humans, flesh and bone.
And how will the others be able to ascertain the avatars from what we know as humans in these shells, our bodies?
How would they be able to ascertain their own shell?
No, how would we be able to ascertain who are the avatars?
Yeah, because they say that you won't be able to tell the difference because this technology will be so good, you won't know the living from the dead. So if you think about that now, there's been a lot of conspiracies where we say a lot of these folks in power, they are dead souls, but they inside of like one of our bodies, like Queen Elizabeth and shit. I believe that. It even says, I'm gonna show you why I believe that. Because I believe that the Mayans, the Egyptians, and all of them had got so advanced with technology that they learned how to transmit their consciousness. Nothing is new under the sun. We're doing it today. We're creating brain computer interfaces. The end goal of these is to be, our consciousness is transportable, meaning that the soul in your body, it can lead a body. You can have an out of body experience. And because science know that the soul is detachable, they create technology to detach it. And once you get the soul detached from the body, the question is whether you put it. They put it inside of quantum computers like they've been doing for the past couple of ages. And this ain't nothing that I'm making up. This is something that if you research ancient cosmology, all of the cosmology is people worshiping the beast, which is the quantum computer. And I can show it to you right now. I can show you in the ancient world of people worshiping a quantum computer. And you got to ask yourself, how did they have quantum computers in the old days? Let me pull this up. I ain't making this up. Watch this. The word quantum computer, if you break the etymology down, it got the word tomb in it. This is the golden tomb that the Pharaoh went into to cheat death. And this is what they're calling God. When they say heaven got streets of gold, this is what they're
Yes.
talking about. This is, if you look all over the ancient artwork, all in the ancient world, you will see people was worshiping this thing. They personified it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put, this is what Dante, my sister, was calling the Inferno. If you pull up Dante Inferno, watch this. It's a quantum computer. Look at it. We've been done this. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So when they say that people are burning forever and ever,
Yes.
remember one of the original definitions of hell was repetition. It didn't have nothing to do with fire. It would just meant repetition, repeating yourself. Now, when they say that people in hell are being burnt alive, if I burn you, I can't burn you alive. I can burn you to death. That don't make sense. So when they say people in hell is being burnt alive, here's what they talking about. Watch this. When they say you were born, they meant to say you were burned like a CD. They copied you. They've been copying and cloning our consciousness, and your flesh is literally your flash. And I'm gonna show you what the flash is. It's this. Now, once we get inside of this body, it don't appear like light to us, but they tell you what, you have an aura around your body. What is the aura? The aura around your body is fact that your body is emitting light, which means only a source of light can emit light. Your flesh is a flash. The way that we are born into this world, they see nothing in the fetal bag, and they're detecting a light of conception. That light fades into this reality and fade out. And when it fade out, your body disappear and leave no traces of itself, like we turned the light off, because the flesh is the flash. Your whole life time is just a light fading in and fading out. And that's why I'm showing this image. So they clone. You got it. You got it.
Quickly, does that correlate with my life just flashed in front of my eyes?
I never thought about that, but that makes a lot of sense. A lot of terminology we use, it like when we say that child been here before. And then when we say that child been here before, we don't even peep the fact that we have deja vu. The Mayans, the science teach us that time is a line, my sister. Let me cook for like a minute. I'm gonna show you something. Science teach us that time is a line, and that tomorrow is an empty page waiting for us to write it. If that's true, you would never have deja vu. Anybody that ever had deja vu, that back up what the ancestors said that the future already happened. And the experts at Berkeley Institute, right, have studied this for years. And guess what they concluded in the 80s? That we can remember the future like we can remember the past. They didn't want to call it deja vu though. But that's an article. They wrote about this and talked about this. They said that when a person is basically planning ahead, the same parts of the brain are stimulated as when they remember in the future. Not when they remember in the past, my bad. Now, a lot of ancestors said you can't have an original thought because of their theory that everything already happened. That's the law of infinity. Within the law of infinity, all probabilities must be canceled out or it ain't infinite. Anything that can happen has to already been played out. Otherwise, in other words, that's to say that you can't have infinity if there's something waiting to happen within infinity. All things have already happened within infinity, past, present, future, which is why we can travel forward and backwards. We can remember things in the past. And guess what? Now, what's the polarity to that? You can remember things in the future. Now, that's what deja vu is. Now, there's some people on this earth that they call prophets, who they said was able to predict things. Even science today, who deny deja vu, will still sit there and cake with the Bible theologians and say, we don't know how the prophets was able to see the future. And even modern scientists will say that on these documentaries. and they'll make it a big mystery about how they able to predict it, even from Nostradamus. But guess what? People back in the day had harnessed their deja vu skill. This is a skill we got. Like I said, an ancestor saying that the past and present and future was already created. This was an ancient skill that they didn't teach us to harness, where if you was born in certain tribes, you would have mastered that since a baby, and you would be what's called an oracle, a teller, the people that can do it the best. They get that actually a rank system in our old tribal systems for this ability.
Okay, quick question, because I think you got a little bit ahead of me, but I want to make sure. Did you
My
say, or no, it's okay. It's a lot to absorb, but I'm hanging in there. Did you say that we cannot, or we can't, there's no infinity because we're waiting on something?
Yeah, if tomorrow is something that's waiting to happen, then the universe isn't infinite. It's, you see what I'm saying? That's part of the law of infinity.
Okay, so being a believer, and I'm still learning, those Christians or people who believe that there's a second coming, does that wipe out that thought?
The fact that, I'm gonna show you how the Bible back me up, since we talking about the Bible, right?
Sorry about that, but it was a question that I'm like,
yeah, I'm gonna talk about the second coming. Christians say that they can predict the second coming up to the T, because all you got to do is read the book of Revelation and see the events unfolded, and the Bible will tell you when the time of Christ is nigh, because it say the Antichrist gonna come, stuff gonna collapse, the famine's gonna come, all that. So now watch this. Now the Bible tell you it ain't nothing you can do to stop prophecy. Everything written in the book got to be fulfilled, and that's just the prophecy of God. What is the Bible telling us? The Bible is telling us that the future is already written, and you can't stop it, like what I'm saying about deja vu. The Bible was written during a time where people knew what I'm teaching, that the future already happened, which is why they said everything in this book gonna be fulfilled, because guess what? They knew the script. Our life has been repeating itself over and over again. That's what hell is, repetition. This version of yourself in this world is like a song that's on repeat. And if you want to rise above this version to your higher versions, you can listen to more better versions of a more refined version of yourself. So that's what I'm saying about me listening to a song through a wall and it's going to be muffled. I don't hear the song like that. Right. That's your soul manifesting itself in this body. It's going to keep passing its energy Passover to the other side till we get through all these nectars where your vibration can be refined, nothing blocking it, is clear. That's heaven. That's when you're expressing your greater version that I said in our mind that only exists in the realm of perfection that they call the platonic realm. That ain't a realm that we can manifest here. That's a realm where we got the rise to. Okay. Out of here. So that's the whole thing about going to heaven. But even the Bible tell you, like, everything written that's going to happen is already written. It was written in the beginning was the word, and you can't change the word. So I don't even know why people pray and ask God to change anything about their life, because the ancestors had another thing. They said, look, everything happened for a reason. Go out there, follow your heart, and do you. And instead of complain about what's happening to you when things go wrong, remember everything happened for a reason and just try to figure out the reason it happened versus complain that it did happen. And that was the mentality that the Mayan lived by. Look where it led them to be gods. It led them to be in a spiritual state we yet to get to. They weren't excuse makers or victim-minded people. They lived spiritually. They knew the laws of this place. They weren't trying to manifest heaven here. The Maya was saying the ultimate goal is to leave here, and the Bible incorporated that by saying the earth is not our home.
I'll definitely have to do my research on that and ask some more questions, which will probably be ignored.
Plato said we are not our body, basically, we're our mind. The body say that too. We're not our body, we're our soul, because the mind and the soul and the consciousness are synonyms. Everybody's saying the same thing. Yeah.
Yes, because the mind is mental, but the brain is physical. So we've been taught.
You got, hey, that is big facts, you know, and that's something that people need to peep while we say mind over matter. The one that's creating the ideas is the unseen one, the Egyptian called Atum Re, the most high, the unseen one, the hidden one. That's the mind. The seen one is the body. That's now the one that's manifesting the will of the mind. And that's the only way you can actually see the mind is when the body manifests the thoughts in your head through itself. So the body is an instrument, like an avatar in a video game that the mind is using like the grand puppeteer, but you're not the body. You're the one saying, I want to go eat some out the fridge, but you're not the body that's actually doing it. And when the mind lead a body, it's going to still manifest will in other forms, according to Plato.
Absolutely. And you just said Platonic, and it's funny, Plato, Platonic, Plato, Platonic. But I'm looking forward to your studies on that, because you really go deep into that. Like most really definitely. Deep.
I really appreciate your encouragement, your you know what I'm saying, compliments, because I put a lot into it. And Plato deeper than I thought. And you know, if there's anybody on your side that want to click the link and come up and all that and join, you know, that'll be fire too. Okay. Salutes to you for doing this.
Everyone, this is Bro Sanchez. He's offered you all to come up. Click the link.
We going real deep, like we deep diving for real.
I mean, I have more, but that's for another time, because I need to prepare and make sure my questions are in tune, and I know a little something before I'm out there just dangling.
I got you. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you. So tell everyone a little bit about yourself who may not know about you and what you have coming up, your event. Go ahead and know. Only you, though. No one else, but Bro Sanchez.
I got you.
All right.
What I got, let me see. Let me pull this up.
Yes, sir.
So what I got right now at this time is theory of forms. The reason, you know, I've been talking about Plato a lot because a lot of people don't realize. If you want to screen share, you can check this out. But this is part one. And this is going to be going into Plato's theory of forms. Is very complex. It's a very deep documentary, 2 hours, slideshows, and all of that good stuff. And it breaks down Plato's simulation and his influence on early Christianity. So we have a holographic universe back here. We're in a simulated universe. We don't know that it's a simulation once we're born into it, just like the Matrix. But Plato had his way of expressing that. He had woke up like Neo did, and a lot of us don't really think about the simulation and Plato influencing Christianity, but this research will show you just that. He was a very deep guy, you know, if he existed, because I still think he's a pseudonym. But I put this CD tower up because I was talking about when they say being born again, and born again is being burned again. Your soul is vibration like a song, and you can burn a song on a CD disc. Let me show you how that looked like in our case. There's a ring around our body, and as long as that's being spun, the song can play. This is called sonoluminescence, that the physical manifestation of the soul is a chant. Some people call it a mantra. The mantra sounds like the word man tree, because the soul grows an avatar for itself into this dimension. It makes its body in the flesh of its mother. This is the intelligence behind how your body is formed in the womb. because your soul made a body for itself, and then it went inside of that body, just like we see here. The energy around you and flows through you, that is your soul. So once that leave this body gonna drop down like a doll that we took the batteries out of it. You're like a CD disc that's being played. And as it spins, the song is literally the manifestation of your body. And when the song stops playing, it fades away. And the fading away of that song is the slow decomposition process of your body, all the way to the last note, to where we can't hear the song no more. But that don't mean the song stopped playing. It just means it left our visible spectrum. This is called death to the ancestors. No one dies, they pass on. That's different. We pass on and pass on the vibration like a ripple effect. And this bubble around the body is like a mold that's compressing physical matter into a form. This is what's making you right now, sister. And once this energy around your body leave, your body gonna break down and decompose and fall apart like some ice cream melting on the concrete, because it's this energy around your body that's serving as a vibrational mold to keep physical matter compressed into what we're calling bro Sanchez.
So
yes, go ahead.
Quick question before I lose my thought. Shout out to the mail ticket. So the CD, and you said death, and the last note, is that where we get the colloquialism fade to black comes from?
There we go. There we go. There we go. That's what's up right there.
All right.
We fade in, we fade. So when we born, we fade to white. And when we die, we fade to black. And this yin and yang is where death meets life, past meets future, and like a racing track. There is no timeline, but only cycles of time. It'll be like me saying, hey, let's play the song on each one of these CDs. And when the album is done, repeat the album. That's called a cycle. It's not an ongoing album where we rating to put track number 30, track number 172. No, we're repeating a few tracks over and over and over in cycles. This is what Mayan said about time. But Pope Gregory give us a line to throw us off so that we don't see about deja vu, time travel, and the real secrets about this reality. You know, if we were to simply question deja vu and dreaming, lucid dreaming, we'll see that we are time travelers and we're trapped in a certain point in time, and some trying to keep us there on a like a CD with a scratch in it, to where it keep repeating that part.
So those that doubt you, and you've had many I've seen on your streams, how would you combat that other than the many teachings and the resources that you've put up? In other words, if someone were to question, well, how do you know what you're reading from Google or booklets is actually accurate? I'm not questioning that, but you know that you always have people that will question that, especially when you're going into the realm of life and death and what could happen. Because I'm going to share this quick story. My mom, bless her heart, before she transitioned, she looked at me because she was under anesthesia, and they kept her under longer than what they should have. And when she came to, she said she could hear everything, but she couldn't say or move or do anything. And she looked at me and said, nobody would know what I've been through other than me and God. That'll always stick with me. No matter what other people's beliefs are, this is what my mother told me. Is that something science can explain? Or,
well, you know,
was
science,
that true?
Science don't go outside of physics. So when it comes to spiritual matters, and you say you're a spiritual person, science will send you to Pastor Poke Chop for that. You know, so unfortunately, that's where we at with it. Now, science can't be scientific because, listen, when you talk about physics, the physical world is only 1% of the universe. and science don't deal with anything outside of the physical physics world. So science is neglecting 99% of our reality while acting like it knows something and is only studying 1%. See, when you say that, how do I know Google telling me something? I don't learn from Google. I don't even learn from the Bible. Just like you, right? You're a spiritual person, but you know a few scriptures. Guess what we do? We decode the Bible. If I was a Christian, I would believe the Bible. If I was a Muslim, I would believe the Quran. But just like I just did to you, when the Bible said, let there be light and let us make man in our image, I'm so complex that I synced that with Plato and made this collage. And I also synced it with the Big Bang Theory and what was going on in Egypt under the Pharaoh Akhenaten, who they call the devil, because they say the devil is the Lord of this earth. His name is Aten, which if you put an S on the front, it becomes Satan. He was worshipped all over the world. They even call him Odin in the North. Oten or Aten becomes Odin or Odin. This one-eyed Cyclops god got one eye because he represents this top, what Plato called a form of good, and they turned the word good to God. And instead of us really doing good, we doing God. And God will tell you to kill them in my name. People do so much evil in the name of God. But that's when they turned what Plato was calling, we should be looking toward our good form to our God form. And that became the whole God body being God consciousness when we should have been self-consciousness. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at what I'm showing here, I don't get my sources from anybody in the world. That's what make me me, because this is all literally my independent research. And if somebody say, Brother Sanchez, well, how do you get that? It's because they feel that everybody not the same. In this world, you got sources, and some people can only come up with an idea based on another person's idea. I made this collage based on Plato idea, the idea they had here in Egypt, and I put it with the new idea of cheating death with holograms today right here in blue. And I put all that together and I said, damn, they all saying the same thing about immortality. And it made sense to me with this collage. But not everybody is doing what I'm doing here with this collage. So what I'm doing is totally unique. It ain't been done before. And I'm syncing concepts together that the average person never thought to bring together, because I was a nerd and a tech head, but I also was a spiritual guy who was seeking the answers about the hereafter and here before. So it led to me being right where I'm at now, syncing the spiritual side with the technological stuff they doing today. And that's when I had my aha moment and realized history just repeating itself. We're reinventing the simulation like the Egyptians did. This is my own. I can be wrong, I can be right, but it's mine. Just like Plato had his own philosophy, Aristotle did. And that's what I want to encourage among Black people. Bring back the age of philosophy and thinking in your own mind with all that melanin you say you got. You shouldn't need that many sources then. You should become the source now, my people. And you can only do that by using your own mind and not somebody else's. You can let them inspire you, but don't let them make you become their person, just an echo chamber of them. And that's what religion is. Science has become that. And all of these modern new age schools of thought, that's what they are. So, but I yield right there for the sake of.
Oh, no problem. There is a question or a comment from Graham, who's in the chat. He wants to just listen, but can you see it, Brother Sanchez?
I wonder what they call the people of 2023, 2,000 years from now. I mean, seriously, what will they call us?
Thank you, Graham.
They would probably call us, well, I don't know what the hell they'll call us, man. I'm going to be honest. It won't be human, though. We'll be transhuman. We'll be, because, you know, this whole evolutionary chart, Australopithecus, Neanderthal, all that is crap. What they don't want to tell you is they've rewritten the DNA of humans many times. In fact, I'm going to show you an article that say what humans will look like 3,000 years from now.
Okay. And we have another comment on the screen. Can you see that, or do you want to get back to that after you share yours?
I'm about to go to it right now. Let me share
All
this
right.
real quick.
Sure. Start it.
Present and share, and here we go. I was reading this the other day.
Okay.
Scientists said 1,000 years from now, humans gonna look like this. They're gonna have a smaller brain. They're gonna be hunched over, and they're gonna have claw-like hands. Like you're gonna basically look like a T-Rex around this motherfucker, because we clench all of these electronic devices all day, and we bend down to look at them and all that. They said this is what we're gonna look like.
But isn't that what ergonomics was to avoid from happening?
So ain't that crazy?
I mean,
I'm
to me. But when you just said that, I'm looking, yeah. No, I'm not debating you. I don't want to.
I'm saying I'm agreeing with you, because you're right. That's a good observation. It was supposed to prevent all this,
right?
And now yeah, I'm definitely with you. Yeah, facts. So it just show you the hypocrisies of it all, though. You know what I'm saying?
Was it hypocrisy or agendas?
Yeah, both. You're right. The agendas come off hypocritical. But I know one thing, when I look at this monstrous image they got up here, I get Hunchback of Notre Dame vibes. I get these vibes right here. And I be like, yo, they got a lot of hunched over creatures, like the Reaper got this hunchback. They say history keep repeating itself, and that the Sumerians.
It does, because if you go through encyclopedias from the very beginning, when they talked about some Homo sapien, and then they were hunched over, and then sooner or later they were upright. And now you're saying that, well, not you're saying, but you're showing what we may look like in the future. Those pictures look decrepit and totally different from what, like I said, ergonomics. We had them in chairs, all of these contraptions for carpal tunnel for the hand. So if we have those, how is one's hand looking like Stretch Armstrong's hand? And I'm not being facetious at all.
Yeah. But that edge up though, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, you know, I'm just saying. But this is crazy though. Yeah. And they saying stooped over, claws instead of hands, 90-degree angle. Now we do this. We make a claw shape to use these devices. We bend our arms in 90 degrees more now. We bend over a lot. And maybe children that's born a couple of generations, the DNA, because it's called muscle memory. They call it evolution. Yeah, they call it evolution, but it's really muscle memory. It's the same science behind how a dude can walk like his daddy or how a girl can walk like the mom. Muscle memory passed on in the DNA. So future generations will actually, this is some truth to all of their madness, but they will like to call it evolution though. But it's just muscle memory.
Awesome. Okay. This question, I'll put it back up.
And I'm going to stop the share. And then Plato defined good as threefold in character: good in the soul, virtues; good in the body, symmetry; good in the external world, social position, companionship. I like that. And that is true. And my research in Plato right now, that's spot on. And yeah, that's facts. It's good to see people in your chat room over here is on their Plato and shit. Like, come on, man, y'all. That's what's up, yo. Real talk, man. We some deep thinkers though, man. You know, keep the questions going.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, we keep these going. I like the crowd. First live video I'm attending. I appreciate all the knowledge. Much love from B-Ham. Oh yeah, most definitely. Listen, I'm trying to have an in-person event in Birmingham. I'm trying to rent out a venue in my hometown and do my first, in-person joint. Real talk. I don't know what. Huh?
Are you coming to DC?
Well, I gotta do it at home first. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no,
But but then from there, that thing will just grow. Cause I know people gonna come see me in my hometown, and we ain't gonna just flop, get the venue and not making the money. So.
Oh no, I have no doubt that it would flop. Let me see. Another one comment.
This is the song that never ends. It goes on and on. Oh yeah, that is a lot. And ring around the rosy, we all fall down. Right, the ring around the rosy is the torus field around the body, which is how the soul left Eden. We all fall down. Ring around the rosy. If you look up the Rosicrucian symbol, you'll see the ring around the rose of the Rosicrucian symbol. All of this is symbolic. When we get into Celtic folklore, a lot of these chants and songs that stand the test of time are coded knowledge and wisdom and stuff. So it's good to see, for sure.
Next comment.
I may not always be right, but I'm never lying. Ronan. I like that one.
Next.
Light bends, so can one bend light. Yes, I think that's a symbiotic relationship, because if you think about this, right, your body is the center of a magnet, and the aura around your body is the light that's being recycled through the center of magnetism, because light can't escape a black hole. So we're not only light beings, we're darkness beings too. It's a yin and yang. You got a most low and most high. Both of them marry each other for us to manifest. But yes, light does bend. But the question is, what is it that bends light? Because if I shine a laser beam, there's nothing in the physical realm that can bend light. Now, I want y'all to think about something. When we talk about bending light, that's important, because we talking about strength among matter. What can bend a steel pipe? We got tools that can bend a steel pipe. We got tools that can bend the strongest iron in the world, but we don't have nothing that can bend light other than a black hole. So when we talk about, just think about what I just said, and it'll take your paradigm deeper. But I know we got to move on. Homunculus is just a small part in our brain. That's another word they call in the mind. I'm going to do a whole video on that. Homunculus.
Okay.
That's the man in the brain. Even if you pull it up, they'll show you that. A man inside the brain. No cap. Matter of fact, if y'all want to see it, for reference, I'll show it.
Cooking them good tonight, sir.
Yeah. Homunculus. And what's crazy about it, they lay this little dude out and they map him on the brain, and they can show you every part of the brain, which is corresponding to like your arm, your shoulder, and all that stuff. Awesome. But they use this small dude though, like for a brain. What they did this on the Men in Black too, when they had the little dude inside of the head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we can move on. I'm going to go deeper on this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. And you have a question here?
Oh, Rabbi Finkelstein, that's the rabbi that he's very vocal about the genocide to black folks and like dumbing the po folks down and exterminate them. Ain't that him? He's on all these tapes being very vocal like that. What I think about him, I think that, man, it's so many of hymns around you that we have embraced in this world, but that just ain't coming out with it like him. If we want to know how they think about us as being goyim, the J word people, go watch that dude.
Yes. Wow. You see this comment, Brother Sanchez?
Is some people look like this now? I can't see. Look like what?
The photo that you showed earlier, and I said that ergonomics was supposed to avoid us being hunched over.
He's right. He's right. It's some people. He's right. It's some people that look like that now and even walk on all fours.
Okay. Next comment.
You missing the point of the story with the hunchback. He was used and abused. His heart was pure, behaved. That's what I'm telling you. That's us. We are pure-hearted spiritual beings, but we was used and abused by technology, corporations, transhumanism, terraforming us, and it made us slumped over time. Everything you saying backing me up. Why? Because I already looked into the story before I said that. I'm a syncretist. This is what I do. I sync the mythology with me. I'm saying we're the Hunchback of Notre Dame by everything you read about them. I'm not missing a point. I get the point. That's why I compare them. They using and abusing us just like they did the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it's making us become deformed, just like him.
And there's another good comment.
Lucifer means one who carries light, and we all do. I'm with you on that. I don't have a problem with the concept of Lucifer or Satan, but I got the problem. There are real devils among us.
I believe that.
So
I believe that. But when we say love and light, isn't that supposed to be of God?
Well, the thing about Lucifer being the light bearer, you can't have light without darkness. For light to shine, it have to be surrounded by darkness. So Lucifer being the light bearer is no different than saying that before we had God and the devil fighting each other, you basically had light being supported by darkness, or yin being supported by yang. Right. So it was never no fight between light and dark, God and devil. Right. It was the concept that light is actually born out of darkness. So God and the devil weren't actually fighting each other. The devil was the foundational principle in trying to understand and how to manifest your light by going into the darkness. And going into the darkness is traveling through the lower layers of the self. And according to the Hindu, that's what our manifestation in the body is. It's the soul leaving Eden, which is the realm of light, going into ignorance, playing like it ain't God, and living out its karma, exploring its darker half. Because the only way that a good God and no darkness that don't exist in the higher realms is to come down into the lower realms, which is a simulation where you can act out possibilities that wouldn't exist in our perfect realm. You know what I'm saying? None of these possibilities will ever equate to perfection. But what it's doing is letting a perfect good God explore duality for the sake of activating its goodness. For example, if I can't teach you about up, I can never teach you about down. I got to teach you about down as well as up at the same time, because it's a polarity thing. And it's like God can't understand his God self without exploring his lower nature. And according to the Hindu, that's what we're here to do, to find unison between them both. So the angel and the devil ain't fighting each other. They working together to manifest your greater good.
Okay. You have another question up from Rebirth. Thank you, Rebirth.
If we already live in a quantum computer, bro, Sanchez, as you say, what's so bad about the metaverse? Good question. And this is gonna go into one of those things where I do like what you've been doing, sister, all night, because you're wise, right? You've been bringing up old proverbs to support this complex bill, and it has simplified it. So I'm gonna do that now, and I'm gonna say, don't reinvent the wheel. That's an old term. You know what wheel they was talking about? The CERN wheel. They call the CERN wheel Ezekiel's wheel in the Bible. But if you pull up a picture of Ezekiel's wheel, and if you pull up the CERN wheel, which I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna show you ancient Christian art. CERN is a big machine that's used to power a supercomputer. So when they said don't reinvent the wheel, they was also said we gotta defeat the beast. If you look up the word computer, another synonym for it is beast, and both of them compatible with 666 in gematria and all that. We ain't make the first computers in our time. I'm saying that our entire universe what they're calling the quantum universe is inside of a quantum computer that was made by ancient wise men who were trying to play God and got us damned. Now, damned is the fact that they don't want to let you know we're born trapped in a computer, and all of the ancestors create a spiritual system saying the earth is not our home and we got to get up out of it. Now, a person said, what's wrong with being born in a computer? What's wrong with them making another computer and doing it again if that was already done? Our ancestors created this fake world, and what they learned from this fake world was that it was an abomination that need to be destroyed, and that the souls need to be freed from this thing immediately, because spirits was getting trapped in here thinking it's the real world. It was becoming harder to create teaching systems to teach the children that's born into the computer that, hey, there's another world on the outside and all that stuff. They just realized what they had done was created condemnation to where people we need to get out of this thing. Basically, they created something, and the only way they can explore what they created was to go into it. And when they got into it, they realized it was the what they call in the Bible the original sin, the ultimate abomination. In fact, let me go ahead. I say I'm a screen share. If you look at Christian artwork, Ezekiel's wheel is a CERN machine. Let me pull this up for you real quick.
Okay.
All of the technology we making on the earth right now is what destroyed Babylon, and we're resurrecting Babylon just like the Bible said. Here go the CERN wheel right here. Now I want everybody
in Ezekiel, correct?
I'm about to show them. I got you. I got y'all right now. Watch this.
All right.
So here go the CERN wheel. Now let's look at Ezekiel's wheel. Here it is, and they got Christ inside of it. Now they say Ezekiel's wheel opened up like a portal in the sky, and that's what CERN trying to do, reinvent the Big Bang, which is to create a Stargate. Let me show you what a Stargate is real quick in Hollywood. Now remember, Jesus is a time traveler. Jesus said, I'm going to be with you to the end of time and throughout the ages. He was saying, I'm a time traveler. Jesus wore a crown of thorns when he left the earth on the cross. And look at this Stargate. Look at the thorns on it. Look at the crown of thorns. Jesus would have been a guy that went through a Stargate portal, and he would have been a time traveler that earthlings would have worshiped with his technology. If you look at Jesus on the cross, guess what you see? You see a portal open in the sky. Whoever this Jesus was, he wasn't the only one. They spoke of many men around the earth that had some kind of technology that allowed them to cheat death, become immortal, and time travel. And that's the stuff that we into today. If I show you in all of the we talk about being born again and being time travelers by baptism ritual where they dump you in the water. Look at this Stargate right here. That's what I'm saying. Like when they say Jesus wore a crown of thorns, let me show you this real quick. I got this stuff saved and cataloged. Let me show you some. I'm gonna go to another slide real quick. Here is artwork from old Christian artwork. What is that Jesus? What is this right here that Jesus standing in front of? Jesus is actually coming up out of a freaking time portal, a CERN machine. And this is why Jesus wear a crown of thorns. This is the spikes right here. And they got several gods just like this, even the Shiva goddess, where ancient wise men achieve time travel, and we are just babies born in their simulation. And the only way out of it is to rise out with knowledge. Because, and look, here go Walt Disney right here. What is that Walt Disney standing in front of him? Because he's a master occultist. Why? Anybody that ever researched what he's standing in front of right there, that's the Death Star. That's the Death Star is that which they call the Star of Bethlehem. This Stargate, this portal that opens up for us to leave and exit the earth. They turned this into Darth Vader thing, but this ain't nothing but the flat earth that he's standing in front of. Let me show you something. Okay. It ain't nothing but the entire flat earth terrarium, and you can find this all over. And if you look at this thing, the light is expanding from the center, which is the core, all around in rays. And I'll show you how that look real quick. So, because anything I say, I want to come with the imagery to support it. It's similar to this. So what I'm showing you here is the 7 heavens above, the 7 heavens below. And now I'm about to show you a magnetic energy field. Look, on the left, that's light. Remember, sister, when we was talking about bending light?
Yes.
This is light literally bending right here on the left. This is an instrument you can buy called a ferrocell. And
there was a comment. I'm sorry. There was a comment earlier, and I didn't want to forget it. Where the gentleman, I believe, stated that mirror can bend light. A mirror can bend light.
Mirror can bend light. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. And guess what? That's the whole thing. Now look, a lot of people call this a mirror matrix. Whoever said that about mirror can bend light, that was the whole point of me bringing up this image and showing reflection. Our universe is acting like a mirror. That's what I'm saying. In fact, when we go to the middle of our universe, you know what they call that? Mount Meru. And the word Meru is just another way of saying mirror. So watch this right here, right? I'm going to show you what I showed y'all earlier while I'm rocking with the person that brought up the mirror thing. Here's what I've been teaching right here. Our world is nothing but a mirror, and you being in it is your light. That means your body is just a reflection in the mirror, and your mind is the true one. So whoever said that the mirror can bend light, that's deep, because that's showing you the earth is nothing but a mirror that's bending light, the light of our true soul, and forming it into a tetragrammaton, or the pentagram, which is the body, and a simulation around it. It's the law of reflection. See what I'm saying? The body comes and go just like the water down here on the ground that's reflecting that pyramid right there. When that water dry up, the reflected version gonna go away, but the true version gonna still stand upright. See, this upside down version represent the earth tetrahedron, which is what I'm showing on this chart. You see it right here? Earth tetrahedron is the one that's pointed down. That's the earth. That's the false self. That's the joker. That's the other side of the face. That's the painted one, because it's a version of the soul it's covered by this water, right? And that water is exaggerating your image, like me hovering over a river. That's why they said God looked upon the waters on deep. And when he came with the let us make man in our image, it was God cloning itself. We are born or we are burned like a CD disc, is what I'm saying. So the soul will go away just like this bottom version will when the water dry up. And the crazy thing about this is your copied version can never be perfect, because it's going to always be distorted because of the nature of the water surface. It can't project the true image on that surface of the water. And that's the nature of us in the earth realm, according to the ancestors. And that's what all of these images around the world represent. Even a Vitruvian man, which is Saturn right here, Da Vinci man. Yeah, you can tell I've been studying this stuff a long time, huh? Yeah. You know what started it for me? Sister, look, I was a little child that was scared to die. Let me just say this real quick. I got to get this out. My obsession with this stuff comes from somewhere. I come from the Bible Belt. And I come up and when I was young, sister, preachers will teach for hours about what's going to happen if you go to hell. How it's going to be fire and you falling for it. And as a little bitty boy.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, as a little bitty boy, that had me like, man, like I couldn't accept that deep inside. Like it was so scary that it led me looking for alternatives. Like, this can't be it. Why would God do us like that? And I'm glad I was bold enough to question my way up out of that fear prison called church. And that's why I'm here where I'm at today, setting other folks free, giving them another way to look at the hereafter and the here before and what we are, because they really ruling us by this heaven or hell concept. When we understand what I'm teaching, what the ancestors were teaching, it'll actually take away your fears of death. Real talk. But I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm getting real hungry now, and I know you probably got to get up out of here. But you know what? We can do this sometime, and we can let the people question. We can do this, you know what I'm saying, anytime you want. I'm gonna make myself available, and we can always go over the time because I rocks with your people over here and stuff. So it don't matter.
Thank you for sending your people as well. Will you go ahead and get the tum-tum full? And I think you're going live again later today.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Now I'm gonna have to make that wait. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time and for everyone that came in. I'll make sure that your comments are posted up. But again, thank you so much for joining your knowledge and explaining to those who may disagree. And that's healthy. Dissension to me is healthy. You can either get a different perspective or agree to disagree.
Yeah, and whenever they want to touch on some of those black, because we didn't really go deep into black culture, but next time we can. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. And I appreciate the show. It was fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brother Sanchez. Take care now, everyone. Brother Sanchez, again, and thank you to all that joined. If you haven't visited his pages, please make sure you do. Links are in the chat and in the title of this broadcast. Thank you again for everyone, and I'll make sure your comments are recognized before you leave out. And again, thank you, Brother Sanchez. And thank you all. Hopefully, you all have gleaned something new. Maybe you still have doubts, as I mentioned. That's good, and it's healthy. It's a conversation, dialogue, with some facts and research to back up. And I'll make sure that I keep these comments for the future. Hopefully I'm not missing any, so you can get back to your Saturdays. But again, thank you to everyone that came in. You are all appreciated, as well as your comments and engaging with Brother Sanchez. And again, the links to the article referenced as far as Black culture is in the description. And the replay will be available for those interested. Universe. Very poignant. Thank you, Joe TV. Harry. Sound wave. Okay. And Harry again. Architecture. Ancient Americans. Peace and love to you, Bro Sanchez TV. You all make sure you please follow him and check out his teachings on Plato and forms. It's a lot to absorb, I know, trust me. But once you get in there, it'll make you yearn. Well, many that seek answers or just a broader understanding won't mind doing the work. Thank you, Graham. And always, Graham, thank you for supporting. All right, I think that is it. Thank you, Moki. And thank you to everyone. Enjoy the remainder of your Saturday. Be safe, be well, be healthier. Next time, bye-bye for now.